Mm-hmm. And especially when you start throwing in like sequence breaks and all that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Oh,
here we go. Glentie, let's do this.
Heck yeah. And we got a piece of heart.
And it looks like both our players are going to be starting off with the same route. Link's house to Uncle, and going from there. Now, depending on what we find in the secret passageway, this could lead us straight down into the depths of Hyrule Castle. Right. Or a save and quit to Sanctuary. We'll find out which one.
You are. Either way, indeed.
Well, now this is fascinating. You notice how one player had only one blue guard spawn, while the other one had two.
That is actually... Wow, wait a minute. How does that happen?
I've seen it happen before. I wonder if it's like a sprite overload or something.
Maybe.
I don't know. I have to look into that.
That's very interesting. Oh, and from your uncle, we get the glove. It was so bad it had him get taken down in an empty hallway. And he's passed it on to you.
Well, at this point now, our players can already start considering back of escape once they get some bombs, or possibly sequence breaking up to Death Mountain.
That is entirely possible. Although more difficult without a sword to be able to help guide you along the way of where your sprite is still entirely possible. And we see an immediate break over to Sanctuary with the shield.
What is cross-product doing?
Cross-product is... It appears cross-product is trying to kill someone else and hoping to change up whatever the pull item on the tree was going to be.
He might have been trying to do the tier 2 tree pull or something, maybe.
Maybe. Meanwhile, cross-product now finally following suit as well, and we are going to see FWBronaugh go over to, Lumberjack Cave, after checking the crab to see what the crab drops today, and we have red rupees. Fantastic for going and getting the bottle merchant money.
Well, at this point, we can honestly say that Houlihan is definitely dead at this point.
Oh, most likely. And it's just an arrow upgrade. We do not have an immediate confirmation that Aga 1 will be required. However, we will soon find out from the rest of our items.
And the nice thing is, if all else fails, on their route to Zora, whenever that may be and however they do it, usually from like the Mini Moldorn Cave going south, there is a bush crab on the way to Mini Moldorn Cave that they can get some more rupees from.
Oh, and that is a very valid point. Having red rupees drop from the hiding crab is always very valuable. And, of course, I also neglected to mention there's the one in the Lost Woods as well. FW picking up the actual bomb upgrade just in case. We see cross-product going for the money. Oh, and what are those? The boots are here.
Boots and gloves. Right at the beginning. That's insane.
Apparently, we have a very fashionable seed today.
Now we just gotta find a cape.
Yo, yes.
Maybe a tunic.
So good. Ooh, I would like that. Also, we gotta have the cane, because what's a fancy outfit without some sort of accessory?
Some sort of fancy walking stick.
Yup.
Now, AB, if you choose the blue one as well, that'd be even more fancy, because you got those sparkles going on.
Ooh, true.
Looks like Bronaugh gonna go ahead and check Tavern and go probably buy some bombs before he commits to doing Bomb of the Well and Blindside. And we got a flute already in Kakariko. Get out of here.
Right off the bat. That is... Is this... I can't even say, is this even randomized, because it is. But this is... Oh, and silver arrows with the bottle merchant. Holy free seed Batman.
Now, silver is this early. What does that make you think? Cross, what are you doing?
Cross is going to their insert character where they have the pun.
No!
This is something that Cross always does, and I can't not respect it. Because even if I disliked puns, being able to show that is there, so you can...
I didn't even know that was there. I mean, I knew they were there. I didn't know that there was a pun there. But of course, there's got to be puns everywhere. Dang it, Cross Product.
Well played, Cross Product. Well played. And we already have a swag duck. And we also have no wall chicken. But we have a 20 rupee chest.
Both players making the same routing choice going through here, getting the bombs from, buying bombs from the shop. Instead of gambling on bombs in Bomb of the Well or Blind's Basement. And Cross is going to be picking up his flute, going to be activating that soon, and we'll find out what else we got going on in Kakariko.
And even though I can't say I have the sound file for whatever cross product always plays whenever he grabs the flute, I can say you all that know of it can definitely keep it in your hearts and memorize. We have a blue rupee chest. You gotta love when you find something that you no longer wish was there. And not a whole much of anything else in the cave.
Man, I mean, so far, it'd be easy to see that there's like nothing else going on in Kakariko. Could find just a bunch of junk items, but I mean, at least if you're gonna find junk items, at least give us like some heart containers or something. 4 hearts is not enough.
Absolutely not. Especially if they ever, hopefully, for their own sake.
Thank you. Now we have 5.
Nice. That is at least a little bit nicer. And we have a bottle with a praise to be B-Torp, which means they can also check out Sick Kid and knock out the majority of everything like World Kakariko.
Yeah, so other than like Batcave, Kakariko is just, and plus Library and Maze Rays are going to be completely checked off the list. That's nice.
Yeah, that is a very nice clean sweep.
Now, depending on what they find throughout the rest of this, do you think our players are going to go save and quit and go for Bonk Rocks into Escape, or we're going to see a trip down to South Shore first?
I think we're going to see a divergence, and we're going to see a one and the other. I think Cross is going to follow suit down through the rest of everything that's going to be free. And I'm going to imagine Bronaugh is going to go up towards the mountain. Or I could be wrong, and I have it completely opposite.
Well, because the thing is, after you check Maze Race, you could just keep running and go straight down to the dam without having to waste time doing a save and quit.
Yep, that's true. Oh, FW going for the heart in the library. A nice choice for early, healthy seed. Oh, and we are seeing a Sick Kid sighting, and it is 20 rupees. And another 20 rupees. Oh, of course. I forgot.
Actually, yeah,
we have
that's even smarter. We have the flute. You're right. Now, something worth noticing or mentioning is with that, now the lamp is not even required to get up to Death Mountain at this point.
You're correct. And we have Quake, also known as Quack and the Wavy Coin. And we're seeing a usual and preferred tactic to get out of that area as fast as possible with Bronaugh by actually pressing A while you're holding, oh my goodness, the Moon Pearl.
There it is. All right, that just means we are a sword or a glove away from the Dark World.
We are.
At this point, I'm going to assume that is going to be the required route to get into the Dark World, just because of the fact that the Agahnim Tower idea is just, it's not happening right at this point, because we need, a cape, a lamp, a sword, or maybe 2 swords.
Yeah, it would be an entirely different story if we got any of those items and maybe not a glove.
And I am loving this moment right here, Bronaugh, using that gold bee to clear out Mini Moldorm Cave, but he left.
The bee apparently not doing its job as well as it could. I suppose
I'm thoroughly disappointed.
Bee at all.
Thought he was the good bee, not a mediocre bee.
Well, even the mediocre bee, I mean, I'm going to assume the bee ended up having the same problem that Hype Cave had, where it just kind of got a little nerfed to usually be mediocre bee and mediocre cave in V26.
Yeah, that was mediocre. That was worse than mediocre. That was an awful cave.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's also a very lazy bee.
Oh, we got a boomerang.
Nice.
Not really that much value right now, but at least, could use it to maybe check what the stunned enemy drops are.
Yep. And on top of that, it's also nice to have in the event that you need to use a boomerang to not waste a bomb on places where you have walls with switches. Cross product immediately going in and bonking the escape room sequence back end to get the 3 chests, and we have 20 rupees, a burrito, and a heart. That's actually, of all the things it could have been, it's not that great. However, at least it could be better having the intel that every other chest in the escape sequence is going to... Oh my goodness, was that a hook shot that I had just missed?
Yes.
Oh.
Hook shot, Nice Rod Cave, so...
Wow, that is huge.
And that's, I can see, I can 100% understand why Bronaugh would go immediately up to Death Mountain with that hookshot in hand, because now they're able to clear so much more up there.
Absolutely, and that gives you a ton of new items to go and check out. Not only do you have hookshot speed to go and make quick work of the top, but you also have the entirety of Light World Eastside Death Mountain.
And it looks like crossproduct is going to go ahead and head down to Zelda's cell. It's going to be a little bit obnoxious without any sort of weapon. He's going to have to rely on bombs and boomerang to get himself through this. So
that is a bit rough.
Ooh, and stun enemy drops are going to be bombs, so he'll be able to stock back up. So this actually isn't as bad of a play. And
yeah,
who knows? We might find a sword down here.
Suddenly this plays. Oh, and of course he has the bee.
Oh, the bee.
And the bee does its job or doesn't do its job. Nope. Nope.
He's a good bee. He's a little slow,
right.
But he's a good bee.
Okay, I can accept this.
I'm sad that we don't have the bug net, so we can't keep using the bee over and over. Oh, wait, the bee sticks with him for a little bit longer.
Oh, nice. Oh. Well, that sure is one lazy bee.
Oh my gosh. Book and mirror.
That is fantastic.
The Paradox
Wow.
Cave.
Death Mountain is just coming up clear with all sorts of new options for routing.
Well, this makes it so our players can get up to Hera. They can get into Desert.
Yep.
Now we just need a fire source. Well, there's a sword.
And
a red boomerang. Oh my gosh, keep it going. Come on, don't stop.
And the rest was a whammy.
Whammy.
Oh, FW not managing to get the right part of the... Oh, wait, that was intentional? I see.
Well, if not, he made it look intentional by just not double backing upstairs.
Yep,
now, here's the thing. We still have not seen a map check from either of these players, so we don't know what we need for if we need to do Desert or Hera.
Oh, you are right. We have no idea.
But at the same time,
point.
It's version 26, and sometimes it doesn't really matter what they are. You should probably do them anyway.
Yeah, you should at least check a handful to make sure you get the items before heading out. As we all know, it's version 26. If you're not checking Swamp Palace, or sorry, if you're not checking Skull Woods, you better be checking a pendant dungeon. Oh, and after the dead rock gets out of our way, oh, it's 3 bombs at the floating isle.
Only a heart container down in the cell. So,
unfortunately, not too much going down that way, indeed.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, his next big move he needs is the hook Ice Rod Cave play, but which it looks like he'll probably make his way down there.
Oh, absolutely. If I'm correct, crossproduct already went to the dam? No, he didn't, because he doesn't have the boomerang. And we saw a heart piece come up from the spiral cave. Not that bad.
So now here's the question. What do you do next?
Well, map check, and all 3 are crystals.
Oh man, and 5 and 6 are at Eastern and Hera. Now here's the thing. Do you go Sahasrara into Eastern without the bow? Do you go into Tower of Hera without a fire source? Or do you go into Desert without a fire source? All 3 of these dungeons our players cannot complete at this time, potentially. Depends on where that big key is, at least in Tower of Hera.
Logically, yeah, I'd say it really depends on Tower of Hera and the item placement, because if you get something immediately and you have the 2 items that you would get, 2 or 3 items, I can't remember off the top of my head, that you would get from Tower of Hera, you can then immediately go and check another dungeon, which at that point, it might be safer and a little quicker to go through Eastern Palace.
Mm-hmm. I always kind of have a rule that I try and follow, but sometimes forget, and it's to always check Sahasrara before committing to Desert, or before committing to Death Mountain.
That's a good call.
9 times out of 10, he's going to have something I need. And crossproduct trying to save the fish, and just a few pixels away, so that fish is just going to be flopping on the ground till the end of time.
Well, at least crossproduct will get the PETA you tried, but it didn't really work out award.
It would have been better if you hadn't tried it all, you monster. Alright, it looks like Bronaugh is going to be making the play up to Hera, potentially. The nice thing about this is, with book in hand, he could also at least just check what is an Ether Tablet, so he can write that off as something he either can forget forever, or come back and get once he gets a sword.
And once again, having the hello.
Pendant
Green
Ice,
pendant. Oh, that is
Green Pendant Thieves, and Pendant T-Rock.
that is almost the dream right there.
So we potentially only need one medallion and the fire rod. No ice rod. That's a nice feeling.
Yeah, it's a very nice feeling. And as we saw, there was a bit of bomb storage increase if you wanted to go and get it through ether. But as we know, that's plenty of seconds that you don't want to waste on just a bomb upgrade. Oh, first item in Tower of Hera is a green rupee. Things are not looking too nice for item placement in Tower of Hera.
And depending on what this next chest is, he might have to do the basement.
Ooh.
Nope, bailed out by the basement.
Depending on what the rest of the chests have, indeed, also, he might still have to go. Oh, and there we go, cross-producting the hookshot. He's still...
No, based on this, it's either going to be item in the basement, or I have a good feeling that they're going to find the second item on the way up.
That would be the dream. I've seen a lot of seeds lately where there is a dungeon item in the basement, which is very nice and very convenient. However, this is version 26, and you can't really not count it as just a basic.
And crossproduct's going to have to be a little bit careful here, only having 2 hearts. Only having 1 heart.
And here we go.
Careful not to get hit.
Getting the dead rock before the dead rock gets him. And we have a key sighting.
Oh, that's never good.
No, no.
Come on.
That's a burrito.
All right, Moldorn either holds the compass or the last item. And we'll determine if our players are going to have to come back to this dungeon or not, or just skip out on it and hope for the best.
Hoping for everyone's sake that we find out that it is indeed not the dungeon item. Meanwhile, crossproduct going to pick up their red rag and going to also pick up their... What am I thinking?
Book and
sword.
mirror.
Thank you.
And sword. I was very afraid for crossproduct because sometimes when you drop down that ledge, sometimes there's a dead rock just waiting for you at the bottom to land on top of.
Oh no!
And that would be an instant death at this point, I believe.
Yeah, that would have actually been.
Do they do a whole heart or half a heart?
I think right now they do a whole heart. Ooh, yeah, I saw that too. That Moldorm was trying to push him right off the edge. Oh, and we have the second glove upgrade. That is huge.
And here's the thing, with Hookshot already in hand, we could go right back over and just finish out, at least Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny Cave.
Yeah, all in one swoop.
So, yeah, making the play on Hera
was the
right choice. And honestly, it was definitely the smartest choice, just because you have to have the bow to beat Eastern. You have to have a fire source to beat Desert. But you don't necessarily have to have a fire source to beat Hera.
Right, which is why when it comes to item choice, you just had to hope for the best. And in this case, we ended up getting it. Because after that, you can go and justify any other area. Oh, cross-product missing. Bomb jump.
Oh, and that is a good point, that was our item that we needed to secure getting into the Dark World in the rest of Hyrule.
Yes, the only thing
that's awesome
from any dungeon whatsoever is the flippers, which, if I'm correct, is only going to affect Swamp, because we have... Yep, Swamp is in fact a crystal, and we don't have to necessarily have to worry about Ice Palace yet.
I'd like to see Bronaugh, after this, make a trip over to the Mire area, and then maybe pop inside Desert real quick. See what's going on in there.
Honestly, that would be a very good gamble, because that way you can at least get a couple of items from each and get some more intel before heading over to Eastern, which, since it's originally the first vanilla dungeon, we kind of already have implanted into our heads.
We also, worth noting, already have the medallion we need for T-Rock if our players choose to dip into Pendant T-Rock.
Ooh, that is both convenient and sometimes foreshadowing.
If and when. We still are missing a few key items in order to do T-Rock, but...
Oh, of course.
Like a hammer or a cane.
Yeah, the moment we see either of those, it's going to be, Oh, and the fire rod shows up! That is a beautiful sign.
Good call right
and
there.
cross product is okay. No, never mind. Cross product is directly going to Tower of Hera. Going to talk to the old man, bring him back. Meanwhile, FW is getting swag deck to bring him right
Go to
over.
Meyer. Go to Meyer. Go to.
Oh, going for the safety first. Okay, I can respect that.
That's fine. That's fine. You know, at this point, he might be thinking of going straight into Skull Woods. That fire rod's telling him a lot of info right now, potentially.
Yeah, that is a very
and conveniently could also get a pedestal check after that.
Ooh. So all of you that are obsessed with pedestal hype, you better hope and get some Bless RNGs going. Because right now, it is kind of a low chance that we're going to see something in pedestal, but we can't confirm to count it out.
Now I'm wondering if, well, okay, looks like he's going straight for the Skull Woods. You know, 9 times out of 10, which is not a true statistic at all, but
no, but it still feels like it.
Percentages don't really matter. You'll go and do like Skull Woods, and then immediately go afterwards. You'll go to Village of Outcasts, and then find that next sword upgrade, and you're like, come on, man.
Oh yeah. Sometimes it just hurts. You open up the chest and there's one item that would have made your Mothula fight even easier, and you're just going, really?
Come on.
Ooh, cross product almost talking to the bell with, what is it, 12 lines of text?
It's a little brutal. It's almost like mean that they would do that. Now, a lot of times you might see players go for the straight shot to Mothula, beat him, and then route back and check stuff along the way backwards.
Yep.
Just because you can skip stuff. You could potentially skip having to check a lot of stuff along the way. We haven't seen any items yet in Skull Woods yet.
That is true. We've only seen keys.
And the convenient thing is that one really obnoxious chest in the second part of Skull Woods is not as bad when you have a mirror.
Yes, very true. Because, of course, you could always, if you wanted to, death warp out of it, but let's face it, no one wants to take that extra amount of time just to get back. Oh, half magic being one of the items we have now found.
That is definitely one of the best items to find in Skull Woods when you only have Fighter Sword.
Absolutely.
Like, now you don't even need a sword upgrade at this point. Just as long as you save at least 8 Fire Rods shots for Mothula, then you're good. Now, I wonder if this is going to be one of those really obnoxious things where Mothula drops like the big key and then the last item is in the big chest. Or if they're just going to be nice and give you the second item.
You know, with Mothula lately, I've been seeing a lot more of dungeon items drop. Not only from personal experience, but every now and then catching someone streaming Link to the Past Randomizer. So it's possible. However, I'm going to really hope that we get a second version of Mothula where of Uldorm where Mothula drops not a dungeon item, but an actual item.
Right. And it looked like on cross-product screen he took that incidental double dip.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Going for the big chest. I missed it. I don't know if he was trying to set up a bomb jump or something. Or just
I believe I saw something go on. I didn't think it was a bomb jump. Because he has hookshot. Could he have just gotten hit by the fireball? Because if you try to jump onto the hookshot tech too early, that fireball can knock you down.
Ooh, he's gonna have to use that blue potion. 2 hearts is a very dangerous spot to be because those little laser beams that he shoots out does 2 hearts of damage.
Absolutely.
I think. And or walking directly into him.
Yep.
And there we go.
It's always great to see when players know when to have a safety just in case, because they're going to be going against something that might end up taking them down.
And it looks like we're going to end up finding the big key in that second chest in the second part of Skull Woods to have to go back and check to get the second item, I believe. Not very convenient at all.
No, totally not. Especially with full hearts. The only bright side here is that with green mail, touching enemies is going to be a lot easier to get you a death if you choose to have one. However, with the boots, you still can make easy work out of it.
Well, fortunately for him, he does have the mirror, so he won't have to worry about that.
Oh, right. Sorry, I did forget
It's okay. It's all right. I wonder if we'll see a pedestal check before he drops down there, though.
Oh,
Do
man,
it.
you
Do it.
called it.
Okay, good.
You called it.
I don't know why
right there.
I don't know why he wouldn't. I mean, you're looking at T-Rock as a pendant. You're probably thinking, "There's no way." But here's the other thing. Well,
Oh, okay. Invisible. That is where the cape resides.
so if Bumper Cave has a required item, then this is a pedestal seed.
Yeah, this is still entirely possible.
Come on, come on. He's gonna check that immediately after doing this.
Oh,
He has to.
absolutely.
Because here's the thing, they already have the Quake Medallion to get into T-Rock. They just need to find the cape. But it's a very low percent possibility. Now Cross is doing the thing that I was wanting.
Got 300 rupees.
Check Meyer Shed right after finishing Death Mountain.
And a single green one on top of that.
301 rupees. That's not bad. That's Zora money right there, though.
Now, what do we need here to... we have Quake that's required.
Double
So-
Quake.
Yeah, that's convenient.
Well, that suddenly tells me that that kind of ruins the whole idea of an early potentially dipping into T-Rock now. When
True.
both of them require the same medallion. If it was a unique medallion, then maybe otherwise. Wow, Meyer had nothing but rupees.
Yeah. It's very money-filled area.
All right, guys, moment of truth. Is Bumper Cave gonna make this a pedestal seed? Are we gonna see? I want like the bow to be up there or something.
Oh my god. That'd
Please,
be...
please, please,
Wait,
please,
no, you
please,
can't.
please,
Because isn't... Wait. It
please,
could be.
please,
Oh my
please,
God.
please, please, please,
Oh,
please.
it's 50 rupees.
Ah!
Rip pedestal indeed.
So disappointing. Now, what if I'm already on this. Laser Bridge has something.
Ooh.
And it's one of those weird broken things where like Tridex has the mirror shield or something, and Canterburn is in G Tower. I don't know why that would happen.
Oof, that would be rough. That would definitely.
I'm
be
just hypothetically.
right. You're not giving up the hope just yet.
No, I've pretty much given up hope, but
Oh, okay. So now you're
for
just
chat's sake, I want to keep the hype at least slightly alive. But yeah, at this point, let's see. I mean, right now, like the only thing that's really gonna be big is if there's something in like Pendant Thieves Town at this point.
which is entirely possible if you go and check the 4 immediate chests that you can get before going into the rest of the dungeon. We have seen in the past... Oh, everyone's picking up 300 rupees today. We have seen in the past where Pendant Dungeon Thieves Town has held something such as a sword upgrade or the bow, even. Or in the case
Honestly,
of Bootlock's Pendant or Bootlock Desert Palace, the boots.
This is probably the first time I've ever seen Cape at pedestal, which is interesting.
Yeah, no, now that you mention it, sorry to cut you off, but you're right.
All right, well then. Something worth noting is, as far as I recall, neither of these players have yet to check Sahasrara or dip into Eastern Palace, which is not a bad play. There are really no good or bad plays. They're just right and wrong plays. But
Yeah.
like so many times that when you get Dark World access early, you put off Eastern Palace, and then Eastern Palace ends up having like the hammer or something super valuable.
Or even the bow.
Oh
or
my gosh!
even yet, vanilla bow. Oh,
I have not seen that one in a while.
right? It hasn't happened in quite a while either. But imagine this being the case, and that being one of the last places they check.
I just realized this is unfortunate for Cross, but it appears he did not check the Dark World East Death Mountain, so he did not get his fire rod. So he will not be able to finish Skull Woods.
Oh, not good indeed. That might have been a gamble that he was willing to risk, and it may not have paid off in his favor. Interesting, we're seeing him dash everywhere. Oh, he's going immediately back to his mirror spot. Oh, I see. He was making the pedestal check. Now that he finished what he could, and he's going elsewhere.
And we see Bronaugh making that Pendant Thieves Town play. Now I wonder if we'll probably see him finish all this, but at the same time, gosh, that's got to be scary when the potential for that big chest to hold something.
It is always a good question too, because we have seen many times where suddenly one of the main things you need to progress at Endgame is actually still in the big chest in Thieves Town, which has been overlooked.
Well, let's talk about our options right now. Both players could go.
Oh, the lamp.
There's the lamp. That's nice.
Yeah, nice.
Go Sahasrahla Eastern. We could see a pod check. Actually, we have a lot of Dark World stuff to do, just in general. Even we haven't seen Hype Cave yet as well.
We haven't seen Hype Cave. We haven't seen Catfish. We haven't seen Pyramid.
Now, what I'd like to see from Bronaugh is maybe a route all the way down to Hype Cave. Or no, hold on. I want to see him route Hype Cave to Bombos. Oh, but he might do the whole blacksmith stuff as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think he might go to the blacksmith. He may check Hammer Peg Cave, then return Senior Frog into the breadsmith, and then he's going to likely then route to Old Stumpy, and then check out Hype Cave. That would seem like the most logical linear progression from those areas, but not necessarily the quickest.
Well, what I'm wondering is, with the fire sources in hand, if Desert Palace suddenly becomes a good option. It's only 2 items, but it's a crystal dungeon you can complete.
Yes, exactly. Which means even... Oh, hey, Master Sword. That is mighty convenient.
That is a good find. Well, that makes the trip to Bombos even better.
Ooh, yeah, it does. Now we're going to have a super mystery.
Oh, and we see crossproduct going to be setting up... Oh, we're finally seeing a little bit more sequence breaking. You'll be seeing the water walk from crossproduct to check these waterfall chests, and potentially, Zora's Ledge and Zora as well. This could be a big sequence break.
This could be.
Ooh, just a potion. And if we do end up finding something... Well, Zora's not a sequence break, but the waterfall stuff was, and Hobo.
Indeed.
Did he even check the ledge?
No, he just said, you know what, never mind, let's go. Probably because he also doesn't have the flippers. Oh, and only got 3 bombs in return.
And wow, Bronaugh picking up a tempered sword. So
yeah, super convenient.
Okay, is that all the items in there, or are we going to get a sword from Blind as well?
I actually missed count. I don't think Blind has another item. But...
We got 2 swords and a lamp.
Oh, wow, that was a very, very rare bit of RNG, where instead of getting a pun, you received a hint towards what was required for both Misery Mire and Turtle Rock.
Oh, what did it say?
It said something about Quake, and then something about Bombos, actually.
Or did it say Quake, Ether, and Bombos are required for Mires? Go back and read it again. You'll see.
Okay, never mind. Then
it's a trickster.
I read it a little too quick. Then that is my bad.
No, I mean Ether and Ether are so close. It's so easy to get that mixed up. But it's just they put it in there for us commentators to get that mixed up, and then just to give chat another reason to yell at us. So thanks.
I specifically both dislike and really wait. Was that what I
Ana Samaria in the C-shaped house? Wow.
Oh, shoutouts to Phantom Rio. I can't do the impression as nearly as well as him.
Now, if I recall correctly, I believe Miramong was one of the individuals who are behind doing all the text for Randomizer. So if you guys have any pun ideas, DM Miramong. Send him a bunch of stuff. Tell him he's bad. The usual, the usual basic stuff. It looks like Crossproduct going to be getting his fire rod, but man, at this point though, he's going to need to find some sort of crazy idea to catch up. Unfortunately, the sequence breaking at Zora did not end up paying off for him at all.
No, unfortunately. And Cross Product finally grabbing the Fire Rod with a bit of frustration nonetheless. And in the shovel game, we are seeing you almost get your money back. Oh, and it is for a heart piece.
So here's the crazy thing with this in mind. Bronaugh doesn't know that Meyer is Quake, but with Canis Maria, Fire Source, and Quake in hand, Bronaugh could do the Meyer into Desert play and get both those crystals knocked out immediately.
Oh wow, that would be super convenient.
Also, and that would only leave Swamp Pod and Eastern left for us. Now we still need a bow, a hammer, and flippers.
Yep. And then it would be go mode indeed. Also, I just realized the pun behind what Blind just said. Damn it. I didn't even realize that was also a pun. Oh, that was well played. Meanwhile, we're finally going to see what the breadsmiths have for us today. And... oh, they only gave you 20 rupees. Apparently old men like to give you money just to return them home.
Old man, I thought he was a frog.
Well, in the Dark World, he's Senior Frog. But in the Light World, he is a blacksmith. Or arguably a breadsmith if you want to say that's a piece of bread that they're hammering at.
I wonder what I would be if I was in the Dark World. Probably
I hope I'm an octopus.
I'd probably be like Cuphead or Mugman.
Oh, that would be awesome, though.
Probably. Shooting bullets out of my fingers.
Yeah.
You know, the usual.
Being
all right, well...
yep, never mind. Anyways, back to...
moving on, anyway. Bronaugh making the route all the way down to Hype Cave. Getting a blue tunic. That's a nice find.
Yeah,
and I definitely could see him going from Bombos into the Meyer area and realizing, hey, cool, Quake, great, whatever. And then doing that thing that I said. And if he doesn't, I'm going to yell at him.
And just as predicted, we are seeing Shovel Game also right after taking care of the blacksmith, going into Old Stumpy, going to the Mirror Cave, and now likely heading right over to Hype Cave.
Alright guys, it's time. It's time to get some hype going for Hype Cave. We've had mediocre caves. We've had good caves, but we ain't had no Hype Cave yet. But at this point, we're missing a lot, like very few items. We only need like 3 more items left, so I guess for it to be hype, we need to see at least like 1 of them in there? 2 maybe?
Something around the lines of that.
Oh, interesting. Bronaugh not even going to Hype Cave yet. He's going to be turning into
he's taking care of... okay, that makes sense. Taking care of that that potential lunchbox first.
No! This is bad routing. Bad routing.
Oh, no!
What you do is you lift up that rock, then you dash right, leaving the chest behind, check Hype Cave, then go back, get the chest, and then you do all this.
Because that way you can immediately afterwards route right on over to anything else by just fluting over to number 6. Oh, Bombo's dropping bombs. A little bit of irony with that.
But at this point, I guess it doesn't matter. Have we... oh, wow. So he... Bronaugh, Bro, what are you doing?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Right. This is big. If Hype Cave has something, we're gonna have to wait and find out a little bit later.
Yep, we are getting hype teased.
Cross Product making a very interesting route in Skullwoods.
Indeed.
What are you doing, Cross? I don't know what's going on. Both these racers are making me, scratch my head a little bit every time. Well, I'm not hating on them. I'm just like, what's going on? These are some interesting choices.
From someone on the much more newer perspective, I assume it's when you're racing, you're just going for it regardless. And if you happen to realize, oh, I should have done this instead, or oops, I went too early into this and now I got this and I have to double back, you just kind of go and completely make sure that you're not missing something on the way out as you just already had to return. Cross Product seems to be doing just that because they picked up the Master Key and said, okay, what's the last item?
Red Rupee. So what we need is we need cross product to go into Thieves Town so we can get his 2 swords.
Yep.
Now, what I'm hoping for is a land mola with an item scenario.
Ooh.
Land mola flippers. Also, hold on. Shut up for a second. Never mind.
I was going to say, I didn't even say anything.
They don't have a hammer yet, so the thing that I was going to say was going to be wrong.
Oh, you were also going to say magic bat somewhere in the lines of this?
Sure.
No?
You don't know. You don't know me. I was actually telling myself to shut up before I said something wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough nonetheless. For a second, I thought it was just
I would never
facetious.
be rude to my co-commentator. That's just terrible. Oh, there's... wow.
Wow.
Water sword.
The
Last
power
sword
of
in
Paula
desert.
Dean has come back.
Alright, so that's item number 1.
Yep.
So we're still looking for one more. So I could still get my land mola with the second item. Now, the thing is, after getting that fire rod, Desert Palace could have been done... just a heart piece. Still, Desert Palace could have been done earlier. Especially because... Well, Cross Product missed the fire rod in Hookshot Cave, so when he went to do the Mire check, he didn't have a fire source, so he couldn't have gone into Desert. He could, he could have gone in and got the sword, but he couldn't have finished it. So
that's a good point indeed. Also, am I reading the tracker correct? Did Cross Product not pick up the lamp?
he has not been into Thieves Town.
Oh, you are correct. I keep forgetting that notion.
And at this rate, he'll probably skip it.
Ooh, ooh.
He's focused on Overworld. He'll probably do the blacksmiths and all that stuff.
And then he'll check for Hype Cave. As we know, Cross is going to, at the very least, have a Master Sword. But at what cost? Meanwhile, Bronaugh making quick work of the rest of this dungeon, heading right into Lambolas. Unfortunately, having silver arrows but no bow. If only you could stab with an arrow.
Yeah, and that's the thing. This could easily be like a bow on Vitreous scenario. And so you kind of are hoping, you're kind of glad when you find all these swords.
No, that's very true too. Although they don't have any form of invincibility yet, so they would still have to take damage if they want to go and just make quick work of Vitreous. Meanwhile, who needs silver arrows? Quick work of Lambolas with that butter sword. And another crystal.
There was a lot of misfires with that fire. I wouldn't give him too much credit for that one.
Okay, fair enough.
Pretty bad fight. But it doesn't matter. It's done. He knocked it out. He's gonna.
Very true.
I wonder if heck, sorry, I messed up. I wonder if we'll see anything inside of Mire at this point.
That is a good question. Oh, we're going to see Checkerboard Cave, which, as we know, was, I believe, 300 rupees.
Oh man, that is something worth thinking about. If like Hammer or Flute are on the right side of the Dark World, this could still somehow become an Agahnim Tower required scene.
To be fair, we have the Flute. Although you are right, Hammer not being here is still indeed a problem.
This is true. We do have the flute, to be fair. Man, when is Wizrope gonna put together a fancy seed where the flute works in the Dark World? That'd be nice.
Oh my goodness, that would be the dream. But that would also make things super easy.
Now, let's see like a Hammer in Hype Cave or something.
Oh, that would truly at this point be Hype Cave. If we saw Hammer and Flippers in Hype Cave and Bow, like that would bring back the status of Hype Cave.
Hype.
Here we go, Cross Product being number 1 into the Hype Cave. And after the bomb toss, we get a heart piece. Woo. We get a bottle.
Single arrow, that's pretty hype.
Oh, single arrow.
Wow,
Bomb upgrade.
that was horrible.
Ooh.
Hype Cave. That was less than mediocre.
That was... I don't think I can actually say the other way I would actually express how that cave works, because it's technically a variation on a swear that also happens to almost rhyme with hype.
There you go. Alrighty. Bronaugh making the Meyer play. What do you think we're going to find in here? We can complete all of it.
You are correct. I would like to see, if nothing else, the hammer. However, seeing the bow in here would be fantastic as well.
A hammer and Meyer. Where did they find Quake? Wasn't that in...
Quake was early on. I think Quake was closer off to Hera? Maybe it was in Eastern Death Mountain?
Because the thing is, like, after Death Mountain, if they had Quake, they potentially could have gone into Meyer earlier. So a hammer in here would make sense.
Well, I figure it's still entirely possible at this point, because there's nothing that particularly locks them out of having the hammer in this dungeon. As uncommon and unusual and very, very bizarre as that would be, it is technically possible.
For anyone just showing up, there are 3 swords that crossproduct has not found. 2 of them in Green Pen at Thieves Town, as well as the lamp, and the last sword being in right side of Desert Palace, which it looks like, based on his choice, crossproduct might be heading up there next. Curious as to why he's making this route when he could do the whole mirror into the back section, but maybe he wants to show off his little bunny animation. It's adorable.
Maybe. And we have the big key over in the compass room. Not bad.
Now here's the other question. When you play Randomizer, you got to think, all right, what's the best routing options I have right now? And when you get this Dark World access without completing Light World stuff, you got to be thinking like, okay, either I'm just never going to check these Light World locations, or I'm going to get burned by not checking them like an hour into the race. Because if I recall correctly, neither of our players have checked Sahasrarla's hut yet. And that is
correct.
One of those locations that are immediately available from the beginning, as soon as you get bombs or the boots.
And on top of that, they also have yet to check Eastern Palace, where all but 2 items are just right out in the open.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, oftentimes Eastern Palace is kind of just treated as overworld. And a lot of times players will just go ahead and do it even if they can't find the bow. Or even if they don't have the bow yet. Like, there's a lot of times we'll see a double dip in Eastern Palace.
I've seen a lot of positive things come from checking a pendant Eastern Palace, even if it's just 1 or 2 items. For instance, there was one race I saw that they had literally picked up the first chest and it had silver arrows.
Sweet, dude.
Oh yeah.
Early silvers is always a nice, satisfying thing to find. But then when you also have Butter Sword, you're like, all right, did I do something wrong? Why do I have all this? Oh man, and I believe
you just had a burrito.
Vitreous is going to be holding the last item then.
Yeah, I do believe your count is correct on that one.
So we could get that lovely bow at Vitreous.
Oh, that would be a troll for the days. Yeah, you wanted to use your silver arrows against me? Guess what? Here's the bow. I'm dead. Ugh.
Oh, and this is going to be rough for crossproduct going in here with only the Master Sword.
Oh, and no lamp. This is a very risky play if he's not familiar with taking care of dark room strats without the lamp.
Now, we saw him hovering earlier a little bit.
So
I'm
chances
sure he's
are,
comfortable with it, but it's definitely going to be not the most optimal play.
Very true.
And that is also true. We have not seen actually what the green pendant holds for us either. So hopefully
Right.
after this play, once they get the bow from Vitreous, they'll go do Eastern and Pod.
Yep. It is
Check all that stuff out.
It is entirely still possible, even though it would be absolutely absurd, that a progression item is being held by Sarashula. Obviously, it can't be the bow. It still technically could be the hammer, or the flippers, or it could be 20 rupees.
All right, let's see this Butter Sword Vitreous. He's got blue tunic, so he's not going to like die instantly from these little eyeballs, but he's going to have to just play it really safe and just keep on waiting for them to come to him.
He's going to have to make sure to be very, very careful not going too far in, because otherwise it's going to be not only a significant amount of damage from each eyeball, but also a tick of damage from the toxic pool that... Oh, I spoke too soon on that one. Oh, I did not realize they had a potion. Things are okay.
Oh yeah, I believe they found a blue potion somewhere in the wild.
Oh, very nice.
I wonder if his sword is hitting him. Okay, I was like, is it the sword or the beams that are hitting him? I'm not sure.
It technically looks like... Oh no, it is the shovel.
That's not a bow, but I'm almost more satisfied that that wasn't the bow.
Here we go. Here it is. The moment of the ultimate fetch quest. We got shovel to mushroom to hammer. And then Sick Kid. Oh wait, no, they checked Sick Kid already, didn't they? Never mind.
Alright, Bronaugh, what's the next big play you got going for us?
Oh, he's going for it. Without too much left to gamble on it, Shovel is now going to be put out into the wilds for, of course, Shovelry.
It's going to be interesting if he ends up skipping Hype Cave entirely after checking this. Let's see what he gets.
And survey says...
Oh, just a red rupee. That's very
I hate
unfortunate.
to see that. Yeah, you definitely hate to see that. Oh, but it's a lot more enjoyable to watch than experience, I'll tell you that much.
All right, now, this is a good play right here. We have not seen Zelda's, the beginning of Escape from Bronaugh. We know that there's nothing down there, but based on the logic, or based on what they got, I actually don't recall if the sewer chest ends up having anything at all.
You know, that's a good question. The only thing... Wait, stop me if I'm wrong, but the only thing that you can pick up for a dungeon item in the escape sequence is the map, correct?
Correct. There's one small key and one dungeon item.
Alright, then the map is actually picked up in this sequence, so you don't have to worry about another item. Or rather, there is another item in the sewer. Oh wait, I'm sorry. The map is actually in one of the 3 chests in the back of the escape sequence. Because they picked up a 20 rupee, a map, and then a full heart container.
And it looks like crossproduct did finally make it through the beginning of the Dark Mire. I'm going to be very intrigued to see how his Master Sword Vitreous is going to go. I have 100% total faith in crossproduct.
I mean, absolutely. But at the same time, it is definitely always something to behold.
So, if I recall correctly then, the sewer chest is going to hold the small key.
Well, actually, that is entirely possible. You're right. Because in here is literally a full heart container in Zelda's chest.
Heart container.
So at this point, we are seeing... Yeah, it's just another key. You're right.
Alright, so what's the next play going to be?
And...
Oh, he's going to go do it. Did he not check the back of Escape?
Actually, I don't think so, no.
Oh man, that's so interesting.
I think Bronaugh actually just ignored the entire escape sequence until this point. Which is very fascinating, because that actually means they're very closely... Well, not so much, actually, now that I think about it. Because I was going to say they were very closely tied together, but Bronaugh is actually slayed a lot more enemies and dungeons. And crossproduct is, even after this, going to be one dungeon behind. However, still, since he's going to be tackling both of those very quickly from each other, this is still not too far of a lead for Bronaugh, as we might feel it is right now.
Oh, careful. I'm assuming after this cross-product, we'll probably go back in and finish Desert.
A wise decision, definitely.
Then he doesn't have to ever come back here ever again.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, I find this so fascinating that both these players put off these light world locations for so long.
Especially when they're so easy access.
Mm-hmm. And because they had gloves were their first item, they could have checked like even the back of Escape very early. So, you know, back of Escape 55 minutes in is that's a new one for me. But at the same time, like, it's a gamble,
right?
I guess. So
it technically always is.
Well, I guess it's not really a gamble if you go back and do it later.
I mean, depending on who you're
All
facing, of course. Oh,
Here
wow.
we go. Sahasrahla.
That very narrow dodge of the lightning from Vitreous.
All right, is Sahasrahla gonna have it? No!
Ooh. Oh,
All right, is Sahasrahla gonna have it still?
Well,
55 minutes in.
Oh,
Man.
We just got a wardrobe upgrade.
Cross product finishing off Misery Mire. Nice. Gonna grab his shovel. Not bad. Master Sword bowless Vitreous is not fun, especially when you don't have like the cape or any sort of like safeties.
It is very much the opposite of fun.
And if I recall correctly, neither player has actually suffered a death, so skipping out on these tunics early really didn't make that big of a difference.
And it doesn't seem it, no.
Alright, so at this point, either the next thing that we need is going to be here in Eastern, or in Turtle Rock. No, it can't be. We don't have a hammer. So it has to be in here. This is like the last place we can check.
Wait, does that mean technically we could get both the bow and hammer in here right now?
I mean, potentially, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Which would be funny putting this off for so long. Now, if we get like... No, because Spike Cave needs hammer too. So this is it. I can't... Is there anything else we can do at this point?
The only thing I can think of
Catfish?
Catfish and Pyramid, if they get the hammer.
Oh, right. They still need the hammer for that.
Yep.
Man. Agahnim. Oh, they gotta go do Agahnim Tower. That's fine.
Oh my god. Agahnim secretly required this entire time. Oh, that would be terrible. It'd be amazing, but it'd be terrible.
I want flippers on the pyramid. Now, with this in mind, they could also set up that fancy water walk from Skull Woods I was talking about earlier.
Oh, that is true. That is true. That would be really cool to see.
I want it. I asked for it, now I want it.
Oh, and there's the bow! Almost literally the vanilla location.
Jesus.
Oh.
Alright, well, that's good. They'll be able to finish off this dungeon, but...
I'm not even angry that that's technically almost Commentator's Curse. I'm not even angry. And there's the burrito in the big chest. Oof.
Something else worth thinking about, though. Oh, but... Could we... Oh my gosh.
What?
Could we get, like, a hammer at Double Chested Fairy?
Oh my god, that is possible, isn't it?
Please, 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 please. So that would still require a trip to Agahnim Tower. That's the only means of being able to turn that in.
Oh my god!
I want that. I want that to happen.
That would... Oh, that would be one heck of a plot twist. That'd be a terrible plot twist, but that would also equally be an amazing plot twist.
Alright, there's bombs.
Yep.
Oh man.
That means technically at this point, I think they have one item left, and that's with Armos? Nope, it's a dungeon item.
This is an Agaseed.
If this is actually an Agaseed.
This is an Agaseed.
No, they've had to have missed something we just haven't realized. There must be something. Did either of them fake flipper over to the bridge?
Well, that would still be logically.
Oh, actually, good point. Yeah, you would not be able to
I
do that.
don't know if crossproduct checked Hobo, though. He did fake flipper to do all the Zora stuff, but he didn't check the Zora ledge either.
Oh, you're right. He just dashed right by that.
Oh my gosh.
If it's actually there. Oh, no.
This is amazing. And, you know, I could easily see crossproduct would go do Thieves Town before committing to Agahnim Tower, so...
To which I do not blame him. It would also be excellent because at that point he would get a butter sword. And now, with Armos Knights quickly dispatched, it is the moment of truth. Does FW end up going to bite the bullet at Agahnim Tower? Or are we going to see some desperate last-second maneuverability in hopes that it's somewhere at least not required for Aga 1?
Do the water walk! Do the water walk!
Oh, we're definitely seeing some Dark World shenanigans.
Do it! It'll be funny, I promise. Did we actually see what is on the Lake Hylia Island? I don't recall.
You know, that's a good point. I actually don't think so either, come to think of it. So it is entirely possible that they also have neglected that item. However, maybe they also haven't looked at it because you would need to fake flipper over to Zora, which if I'm... Oh, wait, no. Cross-product did. Oh, but no, cross-product didn't go over to that ledge, though, so it's entirely possible that when both of them actually haven't seen that there, we could actually end up with another thing that's going to end up being just hidden in plain sight.
And it looks like Bro's going to be retracking back to Hype Cave, which we missed, which didn't really have anything. It had like a bottle. But, yeah, we'll have to ask him if he just forgot about it, or... Because, you know, you're kind of in that mindset, like, I have this purple chest, I'm going to go turn it in, I'm going to do this. And it's easy to forget about these locations later.
It totally is. And soon, we're going to see Bronaugh equally as disappointed as the rest of us. Yo, gotta give credit to crossproduct though. Just going through without the lamp this entire time. I wonder how many slashes we're going to see the moment he enters Thieves Town. If I don't see enough slashes to actually cause lag in the game, I'm going to be surprised.
Okay, alright. I was about to say, like, nobody would fake flipper into Independent Ice Palace, right? That'd be silly. But he hasn't done any of the fake flipper stuff here. So yeah,
not yet.
Our players are deciding or thinking like, I'm not doing Agahnim Tower. That's stupid. I'm gonna do some sequence breaks. So
definitely worth it. And Lake Hylia has it's a blue rupee.
But this is crazy. This is a rare sight to see where things are blocked by Agahnim Tower.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is if the pyramid ends up having like the flippers or something, and Hobo ends up having the hammer, then that just completely negates having to do Agahnim Tower entirely.
That is entirely possible. And that would be a big sigh of relief from my empathetic side. Oh no.
Just 50. Alright, Cross, what is your next play gonna be? You got some big choices you can make right now, and I could definitely see you more likely to do Thieves Town than to do the Agahnim Tower play. Oh, did he skip the right side, hoping that Armos is going to have the last item?
Wait, did he?
He might have. It's not a horrible gamble.
No, it's not. It's only one chest after all.
Yeah.
And if I'm remembering correctly, it wasn't much of value in the first place. So
I believe it was. Yeah, I believe it was bombs. So we'll be going back and getting those. So So yeah, let's think about it. We can't do Spike Cave because we don't have the hammer. We can't get into T-Rock because we don't have the hammer. We can't technically get into Ice Palace because we don't have the flippers. We can't get into Swamp Palace because we don't have the flippers. We can't get to Double Chest of Fairy because we don't have the hammer or the Hyrule Portal. And we can't get into Pod because we don't have the hammer or Hyrule Portal. So... oh, it was just a red rupee. All right.
That's disappointing. Wow, wait a minute. What have we missed?
Aga.
Yep. It seems like we are secretly at a V26 seed pretending to be a V18 seed. Because I bet you now, with all of this in consideration, we're going to have to go into Aga, like you said, and find something immediately on the pyramid.
Yeah, and when Cross Product eventually does Thieves Town to find that lamp, he's gonna be pretty frothed by that.
Oh yeah,
because nobody wants to do Agahnim Tower without the lamp. So.
Oh yeah, no.
All right, here we go. Bronaugh gonna be making that play. Now, guys, here's the thing. Where do you think the next item is gonna be? You think it's gonna be on the pyramid? You think it's gonna be a catfish, or do you think it's gonna be right inside House of Darkness?
Well, that's a good question, actually.
I'm thoroughly disappointed that we're not seeing a water walk. Maybe cross product. Do the water walk instead. It'll be funny, I promise. Do it. Go up. That's okay. He's gonna get some swords, so.
Yeah, right. Of course, he's going to get something that's going to be very valuable for us to see him get.
What if it's like flippers on pyramid? No, flippers in pod to get hammer in Ice Palace. Oh. Forcing a double dip of pod.
Oh my goodness, that would be the grossest dream we can have at this very moment.
And the word, ugh, and especially with Ice Palace being a pendant, like, ugh.
Oof. Because there's still logical chains here that you can make. Now, naturally, if we got the hammer, that negates a majority of our problems, except for Swamp Palace.
Mm-hmm.
However, that does open up Turtle Rock.
Oh, please. Actually, yeah, I want that. I want hammer. Can we get hammer first? Because I want flippers on Trinet. No, it can't be on Trinet. Well, it could be. We'd have to find an ice rod.
Yeah, we'd have to find the ice rod. You know, chances are, with it being a pendant dungeon, we're actually going to see Ice Rod in Turtle Rock at this rate, because they've checked pretty much everywhere else that isn't an immediate dungeon they can't access.
It'd be fascinating if something ends up being on the laser bridge. No, well, with Turtle Rock being a pendant, that cape and pedestal is kind of throws the logic all the way off.
Yeah. Now,
oh, wow. Now, look at this. Cross product bailing on Thieves Town once he got the lamp to go do Agahnim Tower. Now, he's going to miss out on both of his swords, but...
Oh.
This is crazy. This is going to, like, make it a little bit closer. So it still comes down to what their next choices are going to be after this.
That's a very interesting gamble. It's also going to make Aga a lot more of a one-sided battle. So unless Cross manages to pull a significant lead, we might still see a very significant lead on Bronaugh's side, despite what it may appear to be.
I mean, the thing is, Cross is probably thinking that was the only useful item in Thieves Town.
Yep.
I mean, how do you predict that there's going to be two swords in Pendant Thieves? Come on. So this is going to be definitely going to be
items. Mm-hmm. I would also have in my mentality, it's entirely possible that with my luck, one of the items I need is on the other side of out of Thieves Town. So if I skipped the rest of it and suddenly, you know, something like the hammer was in the chest where blind is, I would immediately feel nothing but regret.
I mean, I gotta say, regardless, this is a ballsy play by Cross Product here.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's definitely feeling behind, so he's got to be like, well, unless I got like the flippers, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense that they finally got the limp. And in fact, he probably sat there and went, well, I'm not supposed to do Aga yet because normally, logically, I'm supposed to have the lamp and I just don't want to do it without the lamp anyways. And the moment the lamp came in, his thought process was probably like, well, that's the last sign I needed, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
It's entirely
and it's not a bad idea, because there's a lot of times that you'll go into a pendant dungeon, you'll find the next item that you need, and then the rest of the dungeon is just quote-unquote junk, non-progression.
Absolutely. And
of course, at the same time, we'll have the opposite occurrence where you'll find like 2 required items in the same pod. Also, speaking of, was that the worst Aga fight? Not the fight itself, but just like the blue balls.
Oh yeah, no, that was some of the most disgusting RNG we have seen in Aga in quite a while.
Like, it's already bad enough that they're forcing players to do Aga Tower after an hour of this
is that
race.
bombs on Pyramid?
Just bombs. All right, so it's going to be Pod or Catfish at this point. Which play do you make? Pod is definitely the better choice.
Yep, I was going to say, you have much more of a choice, especially with the bow, to be able to find something valuable at Pod. However, the last few randomizer seeds I played myself, there was something valuable at Catfish. So who knows? This could be just a luck of the draw. This could just be going on numerical statistics, which, to be fair, I do not disagree with whatsoever. But nonetheless, this might be a turning factor if Cross decides to take the gamble.
What if Pod has nothing and Fat Fairy has hammer and flippers?
Oh my goodness. Wait, is that technically possible? Oh, it is now because they have the mirror and they thought Aga won. Oh my goodness. Wait, no, is that still capable by the logic? Because I don't know. So, like, do they actually factor that into the logic that...
You'd have to go from Thieves Town all the way down, get the big bomb, mirror, and then go up through Hyrule Portal.
Oh my goodness. It is technically logical. Oh,
it's disgusting, but yes, it is definitely a possibility.
I never thought of it that way, and that is, without a doubt, some of the most deplorable potential logic I have heard of yet. At the same time, I can't help but laugh because if I ever witness that, that is such an uncommon possibility that it's almost enjoyable to watch someone else feel that misery. And also a bit relieving because it's not me.
That's the best part about watching these and being in chat. You're like, haha, you have to do this. I don't. I just get to watch. Man,
so
nothing
far,
yet.
Yep,
Hot a bus so far.
This is becoming an even scarier opportunity for crossproduct to find something at Catfish, because right now Pod is not showing a whole lot.
But of course, that first section of Pod is oftentimes swarming with keys anyway, so...
That is true. As one of our friends, Dr. Bobtastic, has called this the Mullet Dungeon, where it seems like it's all business in front and party in the back.
Speaking of business... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, because, you know, the keys are mostly in the front of the dungeon. But now go ahead.
Speaking of business, we got the big key in its vanilla location in Pod, so that is always nice. Maybe we'll see a hammer jump from Bronaugh at this point. While Cross is going to be making the play on Catfish, this could be big. If Catfish has the hammer, then Cross will be able to catch up a little bit by being able to do Pod all in one go.
If Catfish has something like the hammer or flippers, this is...
Oh, there's the hammer.
Oh, well.
Hammer on the bridge.
And now we have an answer. Oh, and Catfish catfished cross-product.
Oh, man. I thought Zora was the only one giving away life lessons.
Nope, apparently Catfish was like, what's up? Are you here to do illegal things? JK FBI.
Is... Cross, no. Cross, what are you doing?
This is a good question. What is Cross doing at this very moment?
Is he going back into Thieves?
taking the gamble?
But he went through all that trouble of doing Ega just to
what?
go back to. I mean, this is gonna work out because he's gonna get swords, but.
Oh wait. Oh wait. To paraphrase.
Oh, okay. Oh, he is going for the double-chested fairy plate. All right.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I immediately forgot how obnoxious it is to do that when you don't have the hammer.
Say, you know what I just realized, Willard?
What?
Just like you asked, we got the hammer. This still entirely keeps open the possibility of having to go to Turtle Rock.
Yes. Yes.
This might be the trolliest seed to troll our runners. Let's face it, within this week, it's V26.
Well, here's the thing about being in these 1v1 races. When you know you're behind, you kind of have to do the less convenient options, because if the item ends up being in a convenient spot, there's no way you're going to catch up. At least based on that mentality. So I could see why Cross would be going for this as opposed to just going dipping into pod. Let's hope this turns out to be something, but at this point, all it could possibly be... Oh my gosh, wait, what could it be? Ice Rod?
It could be Ice Rod, it could be the Dream, and we would get the flippers.
Well, the nice thing is we will more than likely not be seeing Ice Palace at all in this in this game. So anyone that hates Ice Palace, you're welcome.
Yep. Anyone that hates Turtle Rock, well, you never know. Brace for impact. Oh, and nothing in the pyramid.
Ugh.
Ooh.
That's gotta hurt.
Realistically, unless Helmosaur King drops flippers, we may see either Ice Palace or Turtle Rock. Hope you all ended up having dinner and you're sitting here with a good drink of whatever you have to drink that's got maybe some caffeine if you'd like to have caffeinated drinks, because we are going to be here quite a while.
Okay. I'm like, what? I'm curious what Cross was doing, but he was double checking if that sewer chest has an item or not. Go to pod. Please go to pod.
I mean, realistically, there's not much else he can do right now on the Dark World except go to pod.
Mm-hmm.
He has checked.
That or go back into Thieves Town, which he's not going to do.
Yep, nope. It seems
But
like
I'm sure at the same time, he's got to be thinking, like, oh, what if that green pendant has what I need?
As we're seeing with the mirror, it seems like that is exactly what he is going to do.
Now, did we get all the items in Thieves Town? Because we could have flippers in the big chest.
I thought we saw the big chest, actually. I'm not 100% sure right now. My memory is a little bit hazy.
We haven't seen the big chest in Thieves Town. I'm wondering if we've seen all 4 items, though.
Okay, I got confirmation from chat that we did indeed see it.
No. I'm saying, have we seen all 4 items in Thieves Town?
I'm
Does
pretty
the big chest in Thieves Town, is that going to have an item? I'm not talking about pod. Okay, alright. Jesus. Let's see what he does next.
And we are going right into the house. It seems like Bronaugh is going to actually go and check the pyramid as well. Meanwhile, crossproduct very soon is going to enjoy finding the hammer.
I was trying to write off the entire possibility of there being something in the big chest in Thieves Town. So now I did. So flippers at this point have to be in T-Rock, right?
Yep.
Or well, it could be.
Technically, by the logic, they should be in T-Rock.
Well, the flippers can't be in Ice Palace, but we also have. Well, by the logic, we don't have Spike Cave.
Right.
Peg Cave could be an option.
Actually, wait. Are you sure by the logic we don't have Spike Cave anymore? Because we do have the hammer now.
Yeah, but we don't have. We need. By the logic, we need at least Burna or Cape.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's a good point.
I mean, they could do Spike Cave, but there's flippers can't. I don't think flippers can be in there unless the logic wants them to
go into Turtle Rock to get either of the items necessary to go back to Spike Cave.
Right.
Oh no. Oh, I hope not. That's just rude. And as Chad pointed out, yes, Cape is indeed on pedestal. We might accidentally have 100% completion seed. That is terrifying, actually.
So here's hoping that the trolls aren't over yet. I mean, this is good for Cross, because now Bronaugh is checking all these additional items that Cross did, giving him time to catch up a little bit. But yeah, T-Rock availability. But here's the thing: without Mirror Shield or without Kane O'Brien, that the laser bridge can't really have anything, so it could easily be like flippers in the first chest in T-Rock or something like that.
Oh, that is true. It could be. It very much could be.
And especially with the cape being on the pedestal.
Yep. However, I will say one thing for sure. If we find the cape or enough shield upgrades, and then also the ice rod, we're going to see a very bad time when it comes to Trinex.
We're going to see those hammer pegs, which honestly I think is a better choice than committing to T-Rock.
Yeah.
This could be our go mode, guys. We're so close, potentially.
Here's hoping for sure. Wait, hammer pegs isn't hammer peg cave?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure crossproduct already did that when he grabbed the blacksmith, and it just had a couple of items. Or sorry, not a couple of items, a insignificant non-progression item.
He didn't have a hammer then.
Never mind, I am totally wrong. Wow,
what
I
are
am
you talking about?
Scenes.
Jeez.
I'm talking about.
That's strike 3. You're out of here. Get out.
Hey, it's not my fault. My memory's also on randomizer at the moment.
That's true. That's what happens when you do too many randos in 1 week.
I know, right?
All right, is it here?
It's
not here.
Rupees.
T-Rock.
Oh.
Let's go. It is time.
I guess we are not too turtly for the Turtle Rock.
All right, so where are we going to find it? We're going to find it on the right side. We're going to find it in the first chest. We're going to find it at Chain Chomps. I have a feeling it's going to be Chain Chomps. Chain Chomps always has something at this point. Man, honestly, I really wish I got this seed. This seed would have been fun to do.
This seed, you'd have to define fun, but I do agree that it would provide one heck of a challenge.
Well, it would have been fun because I would have skipped Agahnim Tower by doing the water walk thing, but
okay.
That's why that's why I would have wanted it, because that would have been great.
You know, that is fair. Being able to do that would be one heck of a good time.
I think I did that once in an SRL race, and it ended up not the item that I needed ended up being in a super convenient location, and Agahnim Tower wasn't required.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, so I lost a lot of time. I think I got last. No. I'm pretty sure I got last in that race. It was worth it. So, for anyone... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, to be fair, any swag strat, even if it is also a logical strategy, is worth it.
True. That was also, like, my 4th rando in a row on that day. So basically, what you could do is you can set up a water walk from dashing right next to, like, a pit. So, like, in Skull Woods, all the little pits that you can fall down. Yep. If you dash next to it, it like sets up this water walk, so when you run all the way over to where the broken bridge is, you can hop down the water, and then you'll just start walking on water. Then you could go, you can use that to just immediately get to the other side, and then all of a sudden you'll be on the right side. It's still kind of, it's not like brand new, but it's definitely not utilized at all, because it's a very rare occurrence that you need to use it. So, and it was just funny because before this race started, I was talking about wanting that to be required in the seed, and then here we are.
This is... I gotta admit, when I first saw the couple of items that we got first off the bat, I was thinking to myself, this is going to have a lot of opportunity to be a very easy, quick seed. And now I'm just sitting here going, what curse did we bring upon these poor runners for them to deserve this?
The crazy thing is, that's still a really good time. It's only 124. And they're looking for an item that will, regardless, allow them to go mode Swamp Palace. And Ice Palace is not even going to be a factor at all. So honestly, go mode flippers is like one of the best outcomes in a race.
Yeah, that is true. Go mode Swamp Palace as a result of go mode flippers is absolutely phenomenal, because you don't have to worry about anything major. You just have to you essentially take out what feels like half of the dungeon.
Now this is interesting. If flippers aren't in these first few chests, then we're gonna have to find some safeties in order to do that laser bridge, by the logic.
Ooh, yeah,
it's gotta be here. Flippers have to be like right here.
I hope so. I certainly hope so. Oh, it's the big key.
Okay, alright. Well, we also have Mimic Cave as an option too. Now, I wonder if Cross is going to be going into Thieves Town or if he's just checking the peg caves at this point.
That's a good question. I'm as much as I hope he's going into Thieves Town for the extra swords, it's most likely going to indeed be the peg caves. Yep, peg caves it is. Very, very interesting technique to not get hit by Pokey, but still take some damage from the anti-fairies on Bronagh's side.
Oh man, not yet. We're not there yet.
No.
All right, so we have 2 more chests by the logic that we're allowed to check in T-Rock. Though one of them has to be a small key. And so it's got to be either there, it's got to be a Mimic Cave. Otherwise...
Oh, that's true. We totally didn't consider Mimic Cave until now.
Because Pedestal Seed is, or Cape is not even an option at this point.
Yeah, no.
Without that Ice Rod.
It's probably going to be like chest 12 in GT.
All right. Wait, what if next item is Canterbury to get the Ice Rod on the bridge, to do try and... to get the mushroom, we have
get the mushroom, to get vanilla magic powder, to go to magic bat, to get the flippers. I really hope that we didn't accidentally just commentary curse them, but that is delightfully terrifying.
Bronaugh not checking Mimic Cave?
Ooh, that's a risk. Oh, no,
okay, okay.
Double checking the big chest.
No, this is smart, actually. It's a very quick check right there, and if that was the answer, then that would have saved him some mirrors, so this is nice.
Yeah,
it's actually a really smart play.
That was a very, yeah, indeed, it's very smart.
When you're only 1 item away. It's like that one section in Ice Palace where you hookshot across the spikes. If you're 1 item away, you might as well check that chest before going upstairs and doing that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, moment of truth. Is this the...
Oh, no.
What is happening?
We've got a laser bridge fight. Welcome to the Laser Bridge War of 2017.
I'm so confused right now.
Oh, and crossproduct finally getting a sword upgrade in Thieves Town, with very few options to check, hoping to double back.
So this has to be the flippers. Otherwise, it's got to be Brian.
Yup.
That's it. That's it. There's nothing else it could be.
Yeah, these are the only 2 options we have left. Which also means, actually, technically, this also means we have to have Ice Rod. So... Ooh. Oh my god, the flippers!
There they are, okay.
Oh, and FWBronaugh is in go mode.
Wow.
Oh, that is...
hilarious scene.
Oh.
Jeez.
Oh, I am still feeling this one. Oh, that was... Whew.
Forced Agahnim Tower just to get the hammer, to go independent T-Rock to get the flippers. That is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah,
this is one of those seeds where you're like, can I just do overworld glitches instead? Because that would have been Could have had flippers at the beginning of the game, pretty much. It could have been amazing.
Yeah, it could have been super easy mode at that point, but no, you have to play by the rules.
And unfortunately, this is pretty much curtains for cross-product at this point.
Very unfortunate indeed.
Because those flippers were very, very deep into T-Rock, so...
Yeah, they were. This is no easy feat at this point. And Cross is doing literally everything he can to avoid having to go into T-Rock. Oh, yep, that does say Ether indeed. Oh, the pun hurts because I misread it, but it's so good, but oh, it hurts.
Alright, Bronaugh heading into Swamp Palace. Being able to go mode this dungeon it's such a great feeling that a lot of times players will just put off Swamp Palace until, like, later, just in case they could go mode it. Right. And then the next item that you needed to progress was in Swamp Palace and stuff, so... But yeah, only had an hour and 30 minutes. You'll be able to go mode this and then head right up to the G Tower, so... what do you think this is going to be? Well, I guess it depends on where that G Tower big key ends up being.
I'm already gonna say right off the bat, tile room. It's going to be tile room, or it's going to be it's going to be the Bob chest. It's one of those two, for the simple fact that it's not going to be easy to find at this point. It's literally going to be a bunch of garbo chests until they finally get as far as they can, and then suddenly there. But they're still not going to have to do Armos.
Well, either way, it is certainly going to be an interesting finish. This was a very unique seed.
This was an adventure.
One that we have not, a seed type that we haven't seen very often at all.
No, certainly not. And nonetheless, certainly not even in the past tournament over in the spring. Actually, that does say a lot, because there was a lot of interesting seeds over in the spring tournament as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is, in the earlier version 18, I feel like Agahnim Tower was oftentimes required a lot more often. I feel like players ended up doing Agahnim Tower because the pyramid item was actually had a bias, so there was a higher chance of that pyramid item being something required in those old versions, which they later fixed to try and remove that bias. So,
but they also, in the return of that, also made it so you could get the blue ball shot in the RNG instead of making Aga 1 easy mode express.
Oh man, I miss the days of no blue balls at Aga. It was so nice.
Same.
So nice. Or actually, there was also a brief period where enemies had, or the same seed had a different RNG for bosses.
Really?
It was a very short, it was short. It's short.
Yeah, it was short.
Update. It got updated pretty quickly, but
that is interesting though.
I kind of prefer it where they have the exact same RNG. It makes more sense.
It does. It really does.
Alright, just 2 spins with the Butter Sword, and Argus will be down. Alright. Okay. Maybe a spin and a slash? And Cross now just heading into T-Rock. He's got a bit of a ways to go before he finds those flippers.
Indeed he does, and that is going to be rough. Oh, and falling down. That's actually very surprising. I wouldn't have expected that. You could definitely tell Cross's nerves are shot at this point, knowing that he had to go all the way through all of this just to progress. And
for people...
head, I would actually... Sorry to cut you off, but in my head,
that's
I'd
fine.
also be terrified that I'd have to go through Shrine X at this point.
Mm-hmm, definitely. For anyone just joining, like, one of the major factors that definitely cost cross-product some time at the beginning was Titan Mids ended up being in Tower of Hera, and Bronaugh went ahead and checked East Death Mountain Dark World, where he found the Fire Rod, allowing him to do Skullwoods in one go, while cross-product he went to Mire Shed area first, so he ended up having to go to Skullwoods twice. And then Bronaugh, making the gamble on Pendant Thieves Town early, allowed him to get Tempered Sword and Lantern early, and Cross Product ended up doing Dark Rooms for Eastern and Mire, and then Master Sword Vitreous. So just these little kind of slight wrong choices ended up costing him a lot of time overall. And then Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Generally. Otherwise, this has been a very similarly executed and well thought out logic race, especially all things considered at this point.
It was also because it was kind of a matter of fact of like how funneled the route came down to, since it ended up both players having to do Agahnim Tower anyway.
Yep.
So any like gambles a player made earlier, the other player made later, because nobody wants to commit to Agahnim Tower at that point in the seed.
Speaking of Agahnim Tower, we are now approaching Ganon's Tower, and it is very much customary, as much of the chat has already gotten ahead of us, to guess between 1 and 22 how many chests are going to be opened before we find the big key in the first section of Ganon's Tower. Or if you're feeling extra sassy, like how I was earlier, feel free to guess exactly which room or chest it's going to be in. We already have a lot of cries for 11-6, tiled room 9-13. We got some hopefuls for number 1 chest. Well, those hopefuls are now getting them 1 and 2 shot down.
And with no small key on the right side, we won't be seeing a commit to the full right side yet. So I could easily see a player going all the way to Ice Armos at this point.
Yeah, that is true. Which does mean, in this case, it is possible that we still have Bob's chest, or it would be in tile room. Also, rip Bob before I forget. Alright, so we technically saw 3 chests, we got 4, and finally Bombos. We got 5, and it's a key. 6, it's a small key. And a heart piece. In number 7. Oh, a fire shield upgrade in number 8.
Man, you gotta be wondering, there's a lot of items that we're missing at this point. We still haven't seen like Mushroom, Powder, Ether, Ice Rod, or Burna, or Bugnet.
Plot twist. GT Tower is actually with the witch for the key.
Oh gosh, was this a Wizroom seed? Get out of here with that. Now the question is, well, I mean, there was definitely probably stuff in like Ice Palace, and we skipped a lot of Swamp Palace, so...
Yes. So it's entirely possible many of the items are in fact in there. We did see a lot of keys on the left side. We're going to see a check into Rando room. And it's at this point we have, what is that, 12, 13, 14, and 15? Oh, we got the swag net, a heart piece, a bomb upgrade, and the mushroom.
Oh man. filling up that tracker.
Suddenly that whole joke about the Wizroom seed becomes true.
Crossproduct just about to get his flippers.
Oh, with a sigh of relief and frustration at the same time. And instant menu right over to the mirror, and he is just going, get me out of this nonsense. Over
I've had enough.
Palace he goes.
I'm done. I want to go to bed. Oh hey, oh wait, Bob's dead.
Yep.
Hi, Anti-Fairy.
Oh, and once again called it Bob's chest.
Dead Bob's
chest. For any of you that also guessed Bob's chest, congratulations. Your prize today is an internet high five. Ready? Ready? Wait for it, and there you go.
Oh, here's another one.
Nice. Bronaugh using the sword slash technique to get the oh wow, I almost called them the minions, the mimics.
Oh no.
two things I would definitely put arrows through.
Can we get a sprite, a new sprite for him? Can we get a minion sprite for the randomizer, please?
No.
Please somebody work on that. And you know, can we go ahead and get like all the different minion variants? Like, there's the one with the one eye, and there's the one that's like really short.
only if you call them Glenn's Nightmare 1 through infinity.
This will be the death of Randomizer as we know it.
This kills the Glentai.
Terrible. Well, with Red Tunic, Butter Sword, Silvers, Boots, Ganon Smart, all these nice little Fire Red, all these nice little things that are gonna make this gauntlet super free.
Oh, absolutely.
Can't imagine.
Super convenient, all things considered. Oh, except for the occasional RNG. That fun little factor that we always hope cooperates and then bodies us. Ooh, managing to get the first slash out of the way. And now we're in my favorite room of the game, also known as the one I keep swearing at the most. Fortunately for Bronaugh, he is showing that he is clearly able to bounce back and forth into complete success through that room and right into Lamolis.
Ooh, missing that 0 cycle, or 1 cycle on Landmola 2.
Would have been nice, but unfortunately, sometimes it just happens.
He's got to be getting nervous at this point, since he did essentially 100% this,
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
as much of the seed as he had to, so he's probably like, where's that dot done at? Where is it? I'm looking for it, so...
I would be very stunned if either of these racers thought they were ahead right now. In fact, I could actually argue that some of the spaghetti we've seen from them is definitely them dealing with nerves of, wait, the other one's not done yet? But I'm right here. What's happening?
Turning nerves will get the best of you, no doubt.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, and missing that second Wizbro room.
Close, but unfortunately didn't make it. Oh, speaking of close, unfortunately was not able to dash through all of the pig guards.
So man, imagine if Cross had gone up to T-Rock immediately after getting his hammer and doing pod. Of course, Bronaugh would have had a huge advantage having better swords, but this could have been a closer race, a little, at least in how far along. It would have come down to like Ganon, of course.
That is definitely true. It would have been.
Stranger things have happened.
Yep, and despite the fact that we are saying this and it already seems a bit one-sided, it is still technically anyone's race. Because you never know when someone's gonna get nervous and the spaghetti machine just pops right out and suddenly, oops, you got a little too nervous and you made a dive at Ganon.
Oops,
Twice.
you get a little nervous and your power went out.
Oh no.
That's about the only possibility of there being a comeback at this point.
Yeah, realistically.
I want to be optimistic, but we also got to be real. This is looking like a really tough... There's no way.
No, unfortunately.
But regardless, it was a very amazing race to watch. Kept it really interesting, kept it really close for a while, and how do you predict when you have to are forced to do Agahnim Tower like 55 minutes into a race? You got to be thinking like, oh gosh, terrible.
How do you expect anything like that in the first place? Realistically, I agree.
Right. Well, I mean, the thing is, like, after Thieves Town, Agahnim Tower became doable because they got not only their second sword, but they got the lamp. So, almost got the triple.
Yeah. A double triple, in fact.
Yeah.
And we have a what was that? A 3-2-1, and suddenly we are now off to Ganon. Yep, it would have to literally be power going out for Cross to unfortunately make it over. Which, unfortunate for him, actually doesn't mean a whole lot, because, I mean, realistically, they both did very good. It was just really, really trollish routing.
Alright, I better see a triple those silver arrows, or I'll be thoroughly disappointed.
Yeah, I'm hoping we see a 360 no-scope with silver arrows. How is that possible? Yes.
Oh, we could also do what Andy said, the quad.
Oh, the legendary quad.
The
that
legendary
would be
quad.
amazing.
Already moving on to phase 3. At this rate, this could... it's going to be just barely past a 145, maybe. Actually, no. This could be right on the dot.
It all depends on how much cooperation Aga wants to have in teleportation. We have seen, speaking of Amy, what was it, 37 times that consecutively before that one time where Ganon finally landed? Oh my goodness. Bronaugh almost falling off right off the bat. That would have been unfortunate. And he equipped the wrong arrows, which he's finding out the hard way.
Oh no.
Yep. The hard way indeed. He remembered and switched them back.
Oh my gosh. What if that was like the end of his arrows? What if he... Because he only has 10 left.
Oh my goodness, I just saw his arrow count. That would have been terrible. Oh, and getting the double shot off just in time with 5 arrows to spare. And with that, it seems that FWBronaugh has finished with a first place time of 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 26 seconds. Throw down a GG for your runners. And while you're at it, make sure to follow both of them on Twitch, social media, whatever you're feeling like, because they have been busting their butts to make sure you end up having a fantastic time. And to be honest, that was a fantastic race.
GG. 145.25. 26. Not bad.
Absolutely.
For how much they had to do. Yeah, crazy stuff. Well, let's see if FWBronaugh wants to get in here for an interview.
I see him in the waiting room.
I'll go ahead and pull him in.
And Bronaugh, welcome. Congratulations and GG on what seemed to be only the most fun of seeds.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a bit of an adventure, wasn't it?
I was saying the same thing earlier. So, tell us, what was your mind going through when you were trying to go through everything just to avoid going through Aga 1?
Well, really not too much to say there. It already eliminated the pedestal. It pretty much run out of options as far as I could tell. It's like, yeah, I'm thinking Agahnim might be required. And then, well, there it was.
Very true. Sorry, Shiny Ball Syndrome just got to me as crossproduct just entered the rando room. At this point, the routing you seem to have was very logical. Did you expect that Turtle Rock would end up having the last item you needed, despite it being a pendant dungeon?
I wasn't really counting too much on Turtle Rock until I realized all I had left was the flippers. At that point, it was more a case of I don't want to go to Turtle Rock, I don't want to go to Turtle Rock. I think we're out of options except for Spike Cave. All right, fine, let's do Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate indeed. But...
Now,
go ahead.
Especially since no Ice Rod, I was worried that if I didn't clear out all the other locations, it was going to be something like Ice Rod and Peg Cave and Trinex with flippers.
Yeah, I was myself hoping that you didn't have to experience Trinex with the flippers. That would have been, that just would have been the icing on the cake at that point.
Yeah, I'd figured it was going to be an absolute lightning seed given how heavy the item flow was at the beginning.
Yeah, no, I noticed that as well. And in fact, it seemed like at one point you were confident enough that you just bypassed a lot of Hype Cave for quite some time.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a mistake. Originally, my thought was going to be, I'll do Misery Mire first and then Desert and then go back to Hype Cave. And it's like, after I committed, it's like, wait a minute, you don't have the hammer. How are you getting back to Hype Cave easily? Whoops.
Oh, that is rough. Also, of all the places for Hammer to show up, nearly Vanilla Pod.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me too much. I think that happened on the last seed I played as well. Plus,
really?
Plus Bow and Eastern as well.
Yeah, I didn't even get to that one yet. I was sitting there thinking to myself, it only would figure if Bow was in a vanilla, if not nearly vanilla location. And go figure, the moment you ended up opening that chest that normally has, what is it, the map, the compass? Boom, the bow. And I was just going, I am so sorry.
Yeah, this seed was definitely full of surprises, and all sorts of different flavors of surprises at that.
Nonetheless, congratulations and good game. At what point did you... Or, actually, hold on, let me rephrase that, because I just realized I was asking in a different context. Was there a point at all that you did not feel like you were behind in the race?
Let's see, I was feeling reasonably confident once I found the hook shot. It's like, okay, you know, this is somewhere that maybe my opponent might not have done right away. And then pretty much right around the time Hype Cave forgetting happened, it's like, okay, maybe things are not looking so good. And then Required Agahnim came up, and it's like, oh boy, anything could happen now. And then from that point, it was just assume you're in last place until the dot done.
Very understandably so, too, because at that point, there was already so many variables that even trying to keep count of where your opponent could be would just be nightmarish in comparison to what you had already assumed. However, you ended up making some of the right decisions for the gambles ahead of time. You entered Thieves Town and cleared it first to give you Tempered Sword, then immediately jumping over to Desert after checking Mire to the best of your ability. Or Mire Shed, actually. You actually entered Mire Shed, then teleported out to check other things. Ended up getting the Butter Sword, where Cross Product actually didn't get the Master Sword upgrade until checking Desert. And then eventually, after finding the lamp, went to go to Aga. And then only about roughly 15-20 minutes ago at this point did he end up finding the remaining sword upgrades in Thieves Town.
Yeah, I was kind of initially questioning my decision to go into Thieves Town, but then it's like, well, okay, lamp. Okay, well, we're getting something. Oh, Master Sword, even better. Oh, Tempered Sword, wonderful. So it's like the ultimate convenience destination. I figured, anytime I lost going into Thieves Town would be made up just by all of the convenience goodies it had by the end of it.
Oh, and thank you for reminding me. You also had the lamp further in advance. Cross actually went through and did most of the dungeons in the dark. So yeah, definitely a very valid and good play on Thieves Town.
My condolences in advance. I'm no fan of dungeons in the dark.
Oh, I understand that one entirely, and I definitely agree. With that said, I think right now it's going reasonably well over here in the pacing, and I don't want to keep you necessarily for too long. Unless Bradley Willard has anything to necessarily add in, which I don't think right now he does. And in fact, I'm pretty sure right now he's taking care of something. So, do you have any final thoughts or anything you want to add?
Looking forward to the next round. Tournament dream is still alive. I'm just glad to be able to continue onward. And GG to Cross Product, and thank you to everyone.
Hey, and thank you. And make sure, once again, to follow your runners on Twitch or on social media if they also prefer. By all means, they did bust their butts to make sure you had an entertaining race, and did they, in both respects, do just that. So once again, thank you again. And one simple question. Pardon my newness, is it FWBronaugh or FWBronaugh?
It's FWBronaugh.
Bronaugh, okay. I will remember that for future references, and thank you again.
Thank you, have a good one.
You too, good game. And in the meantime, we do have Cross Product finally tackling down, with only a heart and a half, Agahnim. And since I've been hearing that beeping in the back of my ear for quite some time, that was one heck of an accomplishment. If I'm correct, I saw that was done in, I can't remember the counts. I think that was 4 shots? 5 shots? Nonetheless, in he goes to Ganon, and whether he's going to... Oh, he's going in with as little hearts as possible. I did see something in IRC that he has something to... Nope, that was someone else. I guess he has something to take care of, so he's just kind of going as fast as he literally can in a in a almost YOLO mode-like fashion. I'm curious to see if he'll be interested in doing a post-race. Oh! Unfortunate. Oh, never mind. Never mind, I forgot. He did end up picking up a fairy. Very convenient timing. And as we're seeing in Phase 3, we're seeing very nice RNG and taking quick work out of Ganon. Yes, chat, I do agree. That was very convenient timing. Very, very good pun in the process, my man. Oh, getting a double silver shot off at Ganon. Always nice. And there we go, 2 double shots at Ganon. And then we are going to have cross product continue to finish in a place with a time of 1 hour, 55 minutes, and 22 seconds. Make sure, once again, go into chat and give cross product a GG. That was a fantastic job by both of our runners. And once again, make sure to give them a lot of credit and a follow on Twitch. Because if you haven't, by all means, these are awesome people. One of them even makes a tracker that many of you that are either in or not in the secondary tournament have likely used. And highly recommend you check out his work. Nonetheless, we're going to see... Oh, nope, cross product has to actually make a run for it. So we're going to not see anything for a post-race interview with cross product, but I will go on the record saying good game. Tough break on the luck of your logic, and we appreciate you nonetheless. With that said, I suppose that means we don't have too much else going on for this specific race, because it just finished. Tune in soon, because I do believe we have, yes, at 6:30 specifically, we have Freda versus Hippo with, oh, we have some good commentary on that too. We got Vitasia commentating, we got Zelda's TV commentating. But speaking of people behind the scenes, I'd like to give a huge thank you to Fiesel. I'd like to give a huge thank you to our tracker Dude. I'd like to give a huge thank you for Willa J. Bradley jumping in at the last second to make sure to fill in. And, well, I thank myself, but that just sounds like it's a really, like, that's just self-centered. But either way, feel free to give all of the people that contributed to the specific stream a follow if you prefer, because who doesn't love community love, right? Nonetheless, we will see you all soon. Thank you for joining us. And we will see you over on Speed Gaming 2 for Freda versus Hippo. Make sure to follow all your Speed Gaming channels, Speed Gaming 2 through 4, as well as Randomizer Mania 2 through 4 for all of the secondary tournament shenanigans. And let me tell you, if you haven't been checking out the secondary tournament, highly recommend it. It's been some darn good times. Almost lost my footing there. I'm gonna stop talking. Thank you all. Have a good night.